Cleveland. Empty streets, empty stadiums. It certainly looks like everything has changed. But has it? I mean, we still need heroes. Now more than ever. And hard work hasn't suddenly gone out of style. Goals are still accomplished through determination and grit. And most of all, we still need each other. And that is essential. Because there's simply no way we're going to get to where we want to be without everyone. Working hard and pitching in. And pushing in the same direction. So let's get ready. Ready for gearing up and grilling out. Ready for drum solos, touchdowns.
Here goes Chubb, he's gonna go! Touchdown, Big Chubb!
And of course, a visit to the dog pound.
Down by the end zone, Murray, touchdown!
Ready for game day, where we show the world we're in it together. And together, we will win.
In it together, and yes, we will win it together. Nathan Zegura alongside Bo Bishop tonight, and it is the Browns Live Schedule Release Show presented by Progressive. These are very difficult times, but if we remember that together, we will be able to overcome it. Together, we have everyday heroes all around us, and we want to start tonight. It's not your typical schedule release show. We've got a lot going on in this world right now, crazy, trying times, but we couldn't do it without our heroes. We couldn't do it without all of you. So we want to say thank you to all of the frontline workers out there. We want to say thank you to all of our partners here with the Cleveland Browns, especially those in our video, University Hospitals, Arby's, Fifth Third Bank, whose frontline workers were featured there. Through the grit, determination of those people and all of you here with us tonight, all of our fans, everybody in this community, we will win this together. And Bo, I'm happy to be with you. We have a big, big show for everybody here tonight.
Yeah, we do, my friend. You know, we hadn't seen that until it just aired right there. And it certainly brought out some emotion for me, hearing Joe's voice narrating that and seeing the incredible sacrifices that are being made on those front lines, and just humbled and honored. And I think about what sports is and the great unifier that it is. And no matter what side of an issue you're on, if on a Sunday at First Energy Stadium, Baker hits Jarvis for 6, you're high-fiving. And that's a little bit of the distraction that you hope to provide here over the next hour or so as we go through this schedule. Since 1946, the Cleveland Browns have been one of the great unifiers of this area for people born here, people who used to live here and have migrated elsewhere. That's what we're going to try to do today. And as you mentioned, it is a packed program for you. Andrew Barry's going to join us. Our guy Grant Delpit's going to join us. Mike the Miz is going to join us. Of course, our head coach Kevin Stefanski is going to join us, and a real treat, Six is going to join us. Baker Mayfield going to join us here in the program as well. And of course, the headliner here will be the schedule. You will get to see here first the 2020 Cleveland Browns schedule.
That's right. You will get it first, but that's not all you're going to get, because tonight you are also going to get an unbelievable opportunity to have a VIP Browns fan experience. I'm talking 2 tickets to a game, 2 field passes, the opportunity to run out of that beautiful Progressive tunnel that you see right there, and an autographed Baker Mayfield jersey. All you have to do is head on over to clevelandbrowns.com/VIP to register. And if you share on social media, you'll get a second entry. Does that sound like something you might be interested in? I know that it is. And listen, we said it's all about you guys tonight. It's all about the heroes. It's all about you. And so if you use the hashtag BrownsLive, you'll be able to interact with us here tonight, get questions for our esteemed panel of guests, and we kick it off right out of the gate with the architect of your Cleveland Browns, the general manager, Andrew Barry. AB, thank you so much for being with us here tonight. An exciting night, and it's great to see you.
Oh, great to see you both, Nate and Bo. So I'm really pumped up to be here this evening.
All right, AB, a lot's going on.
You've done your heavy lifting. Go ahead, Z.
No, I was just saying a lot's gone on, obviously, since we last talked to you. Free agency, the draft, kind of in this setting. Where are you feeling with this roster now that you've gotten a chance to kind of get these guys acquainted with the coaches?
Yeah, we're definitely excited about the guys that we brought in, both the vets and the rookies. Obviously, a little bit disappointed that we can't see them in the spring, just given the present circumstances. But we're optimistic. We like how they've interacted with the coaching staff. We liked how they've taken to the virtual offseason programming. But we're also not naive to the fact that we still have a lot of work to do on the roster, and we have many months before we're actually playing. But certainly think that we've had a positive first step over the last few months.
AB, this for you had to be like just jumping on a roller coaster in the middle of it. And you jump in and we go free agency and we go draft and we go roster. Did you have a moment? And by the way, from our vantage point and not just ours, people around the league, you've crushed all of these things. I know you don't want to hear that. We got to get it on the field. But in terms of getting a lot done, you have. Did you take a couple of moments at the end of the draft, a day, an afternoon, something to just take a breath and go, wow, a lot's gotten done here in the last couple of months?
Both. To be honest, the day after the draft, it was definitely a day of decompression, to say the least, and catching up on a little bit of sleep. But really, the past few months, they've really been a credit to the whole football operations staff, our scouts, our coaches, contract management team, research and strategy. It really does take a group effort to execute during the spring, and I'm really proud of all the different people who have contributed. But it's not over. Really, the roster building process is 24/7, every day of the year. But it did take a little bit of time to catch the breath and relax a little bit.
Well deserved.
AB, well, it was certainly very well deserved, as Bo said there. We told you guys it's about you tonight. Use the hashtag Browns Live. Our first question comes in from @RevJack56. And AB, he wants to know, what's something that you learned going through your first draft as a general manager that you will carry forward? So a big learning point that'll help in the future.
I think the biggest thing is making sure to solicit a number of different perspectives from people from different groups. Like, you really do want people around you who will challenge your own assumptions, who will push back if they see something differently. That's really important, and that was important throughout the spring with the decision-making processes that we had in free agency and the draft, and encouraging the dissenting viewpoints, because that's what really allowed us to get to some pretty good solutions that we're excited about entering the fall.
AB, everything that you guys have done has been about preparedness. You were prepared. You had a plan through free agency. You executed it. You get to the draft. You're prepared. You have a plan. You execute it. The one thing you can't really prepare for is the schedule. You know who we're going to play. But you don't know when we're going to play them. And so when you get to this day, how anxious are you to get a look at that thing and see where the matchups are and start going, okay, this is going to be this travel date here. We're going to do this here. What's the last 24 hours been like for you waiting this schedule?
Yeah, it's less actually about anxiety and more about excitement, because you're right. It's something that we can't control. We know the opponents, but we don't know the dates or the times. And one thing that I learned a long time ago was just not worrying about the things that aren't within your control. So it really is just a lot of excitement to see to see how the schedule falls and where our opponents fall over the course of the fall and the winter. So that's really what it is. It's just a great amount of excitement, probably no different than our fans.
I think everybody's excited about it, and I think the players are excited about it, especially these rookies who've been playing big-time college football. You went 4 for 4 out of the SEC on the first 2 days of the draft, and actually following you on our program will be Grant Delpit, and it's no secret that both Bo and I were very pleased when Grant Delpit's name was called for the Cleveland Browns in round number 2. What's something you could tell our fans about this young safety who won the award for the best defensive back in the nation just last year?
Yeah, Grant is incredibly versatile, a bigger guy that has a pretty broad coverage skill set, whether it's playing at the back end, in the middle of the field, in the post, playing near the line of scrimmage, covering a tight end, walking down over a slot, and that's something that's difficult to find. The other thing about Grant is very mature, very professional. Just really takes football seriously, loves the game, very passionate. So we think he really fits what we're looking for within our organization, both on and off the field.
AB, thank you so much for your time. It is great to spend some time with the general manager of the Browns, and I know we can't wait to see the schedule. It's coming, folks. You can't wait to see it, and then we can get ready and hopefully start thinking about actually playing some of these games and seeing this 2020 Browns team that you put together on paper, seeing them out there on the grass. Thanks so much, AB.
Thanks, AB. Thank you, guys.
All right, coming up next, we are going to be joined by the man he was just talking about. That's Grant Delpit. And remember, it's about you guys as well. Use the hashtag #BrownsLive. That's how you guys can be a part of it. We'll get questions answered and asked all night long just from you guys. So, AB, it was great to hear from our general manager. Now let's hear from one of the guys that we saw him pick, and that is our second round pick, number 44 overall. Oh, and Bo, you're fired up. So am I. Number 22 now for your Cleveland Browns, Grant Delpit. Grant, great to see you, man. How you doing?
It's great to be on here. Thank y'all for having me.
Grant, I don't know if you know, but Nathan and I have talked about you for about 3 months as the safety we wanted. We have probably said your name on our show more than any other name over the last 4 months on Cleveland Browns Daily. We loved everything we saw out of you. We thought it'd be a perfect fit. We love the guys from the big programs. We love the LSU guys, obviously. We are so thrilled to have you. Now that you've had a little bit of time to kind of sit back and think about what's happened here, and you're starting to see who's else on this roster, has it sunk in totally now in terms of what you get and what we get with you in terms of the fit?
Yeah, it's getting, the process is getting easier. I don't want to say, well, actually, this process is just getting started. This comes from just watching film every day to trying to learn the defense to, meeting with the coaches, and we got the rookie minicamp coming up this weekend. So really getting acclimated with everybody. It's the process is just getting started, but I feel like it's slowing down a little bit and getting used to it.
You're fresh off of that national championship win at LSU, and now here you come in to a Cleveland Browns team that really wants to turn the corner, turn the page to becoming that kind of winning franchise. What can you bring from your experiences at a program where winning was the expectation in here to the Cleveland Browns? By the way, and do it with some of your teammates, both past and present.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it with my teammates that's been at LSU and guys that have been through LSU. We have a strong tradition at LSU is a tradition of winning. And, we hadn't been exactly where we wanted to be the past, probably 10 to 8 years. And getting there this year really just took a winning mindset and a winning mentality. I know that the Browns have that. So I can't wait to, join the organization like that and with what we had at LSU and bring it all together, hopefully.
Grant, I always felt watching you guys play this year and the last couple of years, really, that what Joe Burrow was to the offense, you were to the defense. That I kind of felt like you guys kind of matched up well, and you guys have been great teammates and accomplished an incredible thing. One of the great seasons in college football history that you just accomplished. Now you get to see him 2 times a year. Have you any communication with Joe? Say, hey, watch out for me back there, buddy.
Nah, I haven't texted him yet. I got to shoot him a text coming up. I know he's probably been busy. Trying to take over that offense. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be just like we were playing in practice, getting on each other's nerves, me trying to irritate him trying to make his play. So it's going to be fun seeing him 2 times a year. Hopefully, we get the best of that. But he's a great player, man. He's a great guy in general. I can't wait to see what he does in the league.
Yeah, that's something we'll be looking forward to. That schedule is coming up soon, and we'll find out exactly when we'll see Grant Delpit and Joe Burrow go head-to-head, the Browns and the Bengals, the Battle of Ohio. We told you Browns Live. That's how you get your questions in. We've got one here from Jamie Raber, 11. And Grant, they want to know, what was going through your mind when the phone rang and you knew you were going to be a Cleveland Brown?
I said in the video, the first thing I said was, this is really LSU. The first thing that popped in my mind was the amount of guys that I'm familiar with that's up there. So I think that's important in trying to, for me to become, more, acclimated with the team faster. So that was great to have. I know a lot of like-minded people are up there. I haven't been to Cleveland, Ohio yet, so I'm waiting to take my first visit up there. Trying to see, as the fans, to tell me, where the places to go, best places to eat and stuff like that. So I can't wait for it.
It's a lot like Baton Rouge, and I mean that as a compliment from the standpoint of Baton Rouge. And I've been to games down there, man. From the standpoint of on a Saturday, the world stops for the Tigers. This world, and that's what it's like here on Sundays. It's the exact same feeling. You will smell it from blocks away. You will feel that energy. It's unique in the NFL. There's not a lot of them like this, so it's very similar to what you certainly experienced in college. And familiarity. Jacob's coming in here. You got Greedy back here. This is an LSU reunion on this defense.
Oh yeah, it's LSU reunion. You know, we're gonna show with that LSU defensive mentality. Um, you know, hopefully get some wins, make some plays, get the ball back to our offense.
Grant, we told the fans again, hashtag Browns Live. They keep them coming in. They want to talk to you directly. So we're going to let them do that. This one from
Keep 'em
at
coming.
Brownstown, USA. And Grant, they said, what are the Browns? Tell us directly from your own mouth. What are the Browns getting in Grant Delpit? What are you going to bring to this team on the back end of this defense?
You're getting a leader, and you're getting a playmaker as well. I think I bring the best of both worlds, you know, on and off the field. I'm a guy that in the locker room everybody's gonna love. I'm gonna try to, you know, be a playmaker on the field as well. And I can't wait to step on the field the first time with that 22, make some plays for the Browns. Man, it's gonna be a surreal experience. You know, I can't wait for it.
I like that double twos, man. How did you settle on 22? Looks good on you.
It was just, you know, a number that I had available, and you know, I feel like I can swag it, you know, a little bit. I feel like I look good in it. So that's what we're gonna go with.
Well, one day, listen, hopefully 22 is going to start a lineage here with the Cleveland Browns like number 7 has with LSU. For those that know, they know what it means when you get to wear that jersey down there, and hopefully that's what 22 will become here with the Cleveland Browns. Grant, thank you so much for the time. We can't wait to see you get up here to Cleveland. You and your family be safe, and thanks for joining us here on the Browns Live Schedule Release Show presented by Progressive.
No doubt. Thank you, everybody.
All right, folks, still to come, we've got the schedule.
Yo. All right, how's it going, everybody? All right, now that I got everybody here, we finally are together, many thousands of miles apart, but we are together.
And so we're doing our best to do a virtual off season.
My reaction to the virtual draft is that, you know, we were going to attack it and be prepared, ready to go. You know, all those guys have been fantastic, ensuring that we have everything that we need.
Really nice job with everything. You've done a great job with the process, stacking the board, and you guys are really going to knock it out of the park.
All right, so
I'll start.
Oh,
do you want to go first?
no, I don't. You go.
I was just going to be on slide 7, talking about bundling and saving. Jamie, you're cutting out.
Sorry, I'm late. Hey, whoever's doing that, can you go on mute?
Oh, my bad.
I was just saying there's a typo on slide 7. Bundle home and auto for big disco snouts. I think that's supposed to say discounts.
You sure about that?
Hey, can you guys see me?
What's up, guys? I'm Joe Matoney of the Cleveland Browns, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about staying in the game. While you're at home and unable to attend school, it's a great idea to read, to write, to do art projects, anything you can to stay on top of your game. While I'm at home, not able to be at the facility and train, I try and study my playbook, watch film, and work out so I'm on top of my game.
All right, we are back. It is the Browns Live Schedule Release Show presented by Progressive. Nathan Zegura along with Bo Bishop, my co-host on Cleveland Browns Daily. And Bo, speaking of Progressive, there might be something going on there for our fans, right?
Absolutely, buddy. Do you want a chance to win a Browns VIP game experience, including 2 game tickets, field passes, running out of the Progressive Tunnel, and an autographed Baker Mayfield jersey? You can do it. Head over to clevelandbrowns.com/VIP to register. And get this, if you share on social media, you're going to get a second entry. Z, that sounds like a pretty awesome opportunity.
Is it awesome or is it awesome? Because that's exactly what our next guest is. He is the most must-see WWE superstar in history. He is the star of Ms. and Mrs. on the USA Network. He was the face of the BL Browns appliance store where you got your victory fridges. He doesn't need an introduction, but he's going to get one anyway. And there he is, Mike the Miz Mizanin, Cleveland's own. Right, it is great to see you here and to be a part of this. How are you doing? How you been dealing with everything going on in the world these days?
I'm just like everybody else. I'm at home with my daughters, and it is nonstop mayhem. I'm actually shocked that I actually have silence for once, where I can actually do this interview, because normally it's just romper room in here, just nonstop all day, every day, yelling, screaming, playing. But I've been having a blast with my daughters. Being able to spend time with them. Play with them, read books to them. I mean, it's a lot of fun. But I'm also training as well, because WWE, we are still going full force, and being able to watch us every single Friday on SmackDown on Fox. And I think we are just I'm doing my best to make put a smile on my face in a bad situation, I guess you can say.
Mike, I know how important family is to you, and that's kind of been one of the cool unintended consequences of this, of having to stay home, is you get to spend a ton of time with your young daughters, with your wife. Obviously nobody wants this, but just from that standpoint, that's kind of been a cool thing that's come from it.
Oh my goodness, I live on a golf course, so I'll get in a golf cart, and I'll take my daughter, who is 2, who has no idea what golf is or anything, but she likes playing with the golf balls. So I literally sit her down on her blanket, and I'll just start teeing off, and she'll put the ball on my tee, run back, and then watch me, and she'll go 1, 2, 3, and then I'll swing and go. So I'm basically kind of teaching my daughter how to put a ball on a tee, so I can do drives. So I'm just practicing my drives so I can beat Nathan at golf.
Well, you're going to need a lot of practice, buddy. You're going to need a lot of practice there. But listen,
trust me, I am. And I got the right clubs, let me tell you. I got my new TaylorMades, and they are very, very nice.
That's right. Part of the perks of being a superstar, you get to go to the Kingdom and get custom fitted, the brand new TaylorMade clubs.
I need all the help I can get. I don't know if you've ever played Nathan Zegura in golf. This guy, let me tell you, is very, very good at golf.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm avoiding that.
Thank you. Go on.
He's good at enough. I can't have him be good at this too.
Well, listen, one thing that we know you are great at, unboxings. We saw it when you got the new Browns jersey. What did you think of 2 things? Not only the new Browns threads, but how about these new Browns in the draft class as well?
Oh my God. When I got that jersey, I looked at it and I was like, you see it on the debut, and you get to see it on Instagram and Twitter and everybody talking about it. But when you see it real life in person, it's even better. Just the way it looks. It's old school. It's new school. It has everything you want, everything a Browns fan wants. That's what these jerseys do. I've seen some of the other jerseys, and I was like, nah, Browns did it right. Browns got it right this time. And I'm really enjoying it. I asked for the Jarvis Landry because, as you mentioned, I did do a Victory Fridge commercial for Bud Light. And we did a whole thing out in Cleveland where we opened up a store where you could actually buy the Victory Fridges that were on sale. And so I was basically the used car salesman in Victory Fridges. Now, Myles Garrett as well as Jarvis Landry showed up, and I got to speak to both of them. And I'll tell you what, just impressive people. And Jarvis Landry, just talking to him, man, this guy is a leader. You can just see the passion he has for the city of Cleveland, the passion he has for football, the knowledge he has. And it made me an instant fan. And I was, when I was asked, what kind of jersey I would want to get, I was like, I want Jarvis Landry 100%. This guy is a person that it seems like can be a locker room leader, is a locker room leader, and is just amazing. And now for your second part of your question, the draft. Let me tell you something. We did this offseason right. We did it right because now there are no excuses. There are no excuses to be successful this year. I feel like we got our coaching staff in order. We have all the playmakers that we could possibly have. I mean, you look at this lineup, and this is like an all-star lineup. You couldn't dream of a better lineup. And now we have the line to make sure that Baker has enough time to let those plays develop, to let Odell speed down the field and just go. And so I am super excited about this season. I'm curious to see how this season will fare, and I'm very curious on the schedule.
Well, speaking of the schedule, we have our Twitter questions. And of course, people were excited to talk to you using the hashtag Browns Live. This one comes from Ronald Mullis. Speaking of our schedule, what non-divisional opponents games are you looking forward to the most this year?
I think everyone wants Tampa Bay, right? I mean,
They would want Tampa Bay. We're only going to get them in the preseason, though.
I want to see the whole Gronk and Brady, lineup. I want to see the Patriots. I want to beat the Patriots because guess what? I don't know if they're going to be that good this year anymore. I don't know. I mean, Belichick.
They're not.
He was with the Browns.
He did well with the Browns
either. But he left us.
What about the Dallas Cowboys?
I want to take them out.
What about the? Yes,
Mike,
indeed. We'll find out.
No, I was just going to say, Mike, if you think about this, and you're a student of the game, the 3 of the last 4 Heisman Trophy winners are in our division. And the other one's Ben Roethlisberger. Those are the 4 quarterbacks. You think about Baker, Lamar, now Joe Burrow, and Ben Roethlisberger. I don't recall the AFC North ever being this strong, top to bottom, and certainly this exciting. Like this, every single divisional game is going to be must-see TV, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I always looked at Baltimore as a little boring to watch until Lamar came in. And now they are exciting. Ingram's hilarious to watch on his interviews. Pittsburgh Steelers, I can't stand them. But I mean, they're always a team to be reckoned with, no matter if they have Roethlisberger or not. Somehow, some way, they find ways to win. They have a winning mentality, and I feel like the Browns need to start developing that type of mentality, and I think this is the season that we do it. And I say this every single year, by the way. Every year, I'm like, this is our year. This is it. Oh, my God. We got Whedon. We got Manziel. We got Hoyer. Oh, my God. We're going to be the best team ever. But this is the first time where I truly believe in my mind and in my heart that we have all the tools necessary to succeed. The only thing that we're missing is chemistry, and chemistry comes with time. So maybe not the first couple of games we're going to be on the same page, but I feel like we're going to be the type of team that's going to be able to ground it out and really hone in and showcase what we are. And I feel like they need to find who they are on that field and what type of game they're going to be playing. Do you have any insight on that?
Well, certainly. And listen, chemistry, you have insight on that. There's a reason that Miz and Morrison are the greatest tag team of the 21st century. It's the chemistry that you guys have, that ability to work together. And that's what the Browns are going to look to develop. And we have another Twitter question from you. By the way, folks, schedule coming very soon. Very soon. So sit on the edge of your seat because it's coming. But Tyler Castle, 21, he says, all right, Miz, let's put it out there. On the record, your expectations for the Browns 2020 season.
We win our division, we go in the playoffs, and we win the Super Bowl. That's it. Like that's my goal. Like that's where I want to be. I want to be watching the Super Bowl with the Cleveland Browns and holding that trophy up as champions because I think this city needs it, and this is the year to do it.
Listen,
I think the world needs it right
Beautiful.
now. The world needs a Brown Super Bowl victory.
What the world
Just
needs
make it
now.
happen, Mike. Make it happen.
Listen, we can't speak it into existence. Kevin Stefanski says it. We've got to put in the work, but these guys will put in the work. And I know nobody works harder than you, the king of all media, the star of the show, The Miz. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you guys very much. Always a pleasure. And here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Here we go. And folks, I think that schedule might be just right around the corner. Let's go. You'll find out when we return on the Browns Live Schedule Release Show presented by Progressive.
I'm Jason Gibbs.
I'm Andrew Gribble.
And this is the best podcast available.
You can listen to us every Tuesday and Thursday wherever you get your podcasts or watch us on the Browns YouTube channel. You'll find interviews with Browns coaches, Browns players, and some of the best analysts in the business.
Center Nick Harris joins us.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You can check out interviews with all of the Browns draft picks.
Be sure to check it out. The best podcast available.
Browns fans, single game tickets will go on sale tonight. Don't miss your chance to see the Browns play at First Energy Stadium this year. 2020 Browns single game ticket inventory is limited and will be distributed on a first come, first served basis. So don't miss out. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/tickets to place your orders.
Okay, where were we?
Yeah, I'm done after this meeting. We're just going over how people who switch to progressive can save hundreds.
Hey, Ma.
Yeah, Jamie's the guy running it. I once had to fake jury duty to get out of talking about his yogurt preferences.
Mara, you know you're not on mute, right?
Oh, there's a mute button? Yeah, that's Flo, the one who looks like she'd smile while she sleeps.
I always smile.
That's why I said that.
Are you on me? Are you on me?
All right, folks, the time that you have been waiting for, it is almost here. It is the Browns live schedule release show presented by Progressive. But Bo, before they find out the exact schedule, tell them how they can experience it live.
Yeah, absolutely. Experience that action live with the fan experience packages from Vivid Seats, the official fan experience partner of the Cleveland Browns. Those are available coming up here very shortly. All you got to do, vividseats.com/Browns. So without further ado, this is why we're here. Let's see the schedule, kids. Let's see what the 2020 schedule looks like. And boy, is there a lot to take in here, Z, as we look at this thing. It's like Christmas morning. The first thing that jumps out to me, of course, is the way that we started in Baltimore against the 14-2 Ravens from a year ago, the MVP, Lamar Jackson. What a way to see how good you are right out of the gates against one of the best of the AFC. And then immediately, Z, my eye goes to the home opener, Thursday Night Football, Battle of Ohio, Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield. Incredible stuff there, as you see on the schedule. And we knew this coming in. No trips out west. You're looking at some of those times, and Z, I'm going to get into some of the specifics with you here in a second. But at that 4:25 game on October 11th against the Colts, the first 4:25 home game since 2014. And then another Ravens one to highlight. Ravens here on Monday Night Football, first home Monday Night Football game since 2015 to open the season with the Ravens. Close the season at home against the Steelers. I like a lot of what I see here, my friend.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You're going to get tested right out of the gate going against the defending AFC North champions, and then you come home on a quick turnaround Thursday Night Football. You got to love that. Grant Delpit, he's going to be fired up for that one. Greedy's going to be fired up. Jacob Phillips, all the LSU guys. That's going to be a fun game. But as you look at the schedule, what jumps out to me immediately, the bye week. Right in the middle. You play 8 games, you get a bye week, you play 8 games to finish it out. You mentioned the bookends of the Ravens and the Steelers, but two things that I really like. Number one, each quarter of the season, we're going to get into those in just a second, has 2 home games and 2 road games. And then right around our bye week, the Browns from week 8, week 9, 10, and 11 are basically going to get 4 weeks here in Cleveland. And I think that's a good thing, a chance to really recharge. You don't have any 3-game road stretches in a row, but you get those 3 home games and the bye in a row. So that's going to be a nice month, I think, to really recharge the batteries in the middle of the schedule before you hit that home stretch and you finish it out, as you mentioned, with the Ravens, 2 trips to New York, and then the Steelers. What a December this could be, a December, hopefully, to remember.
Absolutely, my friend. It's funny you said balance. I actually wrote that on my notes when I just saw it right there, was balance, because a year ago, remember, very front-loaded and just one after another out of the gates. This is a much more balanced schedule when you look at where some of the tough games are. There's a couple of tough 2-game stretches, and we'll get into that. Every game's tough in the NFL and in our division, but I do like the balance of the schedule. I think that's the big word of the day when you think about this. And, of course, there's a preseason slate as well, Dr. Z.
And the preseason, it's a tour of the NFC North, or the old NFC North, as they like to call. Starting on the road at the Bears, at the Packers, and then you finish up preseason at home against Kevin Stefanski's old team, the Minnesota Vikings. And the Miz wanted the Buccaneers. Well, he's going to get them. That's right. He is going to get them in week 4 of the preseason. Unfortunately, I don't think he will be getting Tom Brady or Rob Gronkowski in that particular contest. But that's the preseason slate there, and really a tune-up. But again, I do like you're home for 2 weeks before starting the season. So you'll be in your routine, in your comfortable environment before you head on the road to Baltimore, where, by the way, we did win last year. That was probably, unfortunately, the signature win of the season back in week number 4.
Yeah, Z, let's go through this quarter by quarter. Let's start with that first quarter. This, of course, includes the opener, and it is a good one at Baltimore, the 1 o'clock start there against the defending champions of the division. Then that Thursday nighter at home against Cincinnati. It's followed by the Redskins at home. Dwayne Haskins return to the state of Ohio, presuming that he is a starting quarterback there, and then a trip to Dallas to close out the first quarter.
Yeah, that is quite the lineup. And you mentioned you start with the Ravens. That's a tough one. And everybody's talking about new coach. It's going to be tough to get together. Well, the Browns are going to have to get together because that's as big of a test as they have on their schedule, and it starts there. Then you get prime time, and frankly, the Browns have been pretty good on prime time early in the season. A couple of years ago was that Thursday nighter at home against the Jets win. Last year on the road, Monday Night Football Week 2 against the Jets, also a win. So you hope you keep that going in a game that's going to be a lot of fun. Early in Joe Burrow's career, you don't know how he's going to have acclimated with this interesting offseason. And then week 3, you get 10 days to prepare for the Redskins. So you go against the team that was the number 1 seed in the AFC. Then you go against the team that had the number 1 pick in the NFL draft and the team that had the number 2 pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And you wrap it up with the Cowboys on the road. That's your biggest road trip of the year, going down to Dallas, a team that's made a lot of improvements this offseason. Obviously, they brought in Andy Dalton now to back up Dak Prescott. We talked about adding CeeDee Lamb to that team, re-signing Amari Cooper. They've got some real weapons, and that one should be a lot of fun in Jerry World. It's been a long time, 8 years since the Browns have been down there, and that will be a fun one. And you know that's going to be a big game to one of our guests later on in the program, Mr. Baker Mayfield.
Yes, certainly. As we go into that second quarter, it's kind of like old home week in terms of old school NFL powers. If you think about the Colts, the Steelers are in here, and of course the Raiders coming to town. That second date with Cincinnati down in Cincinnati in there as well as you get into that second quarter, Z.
Yeah, and this is also the second quarter and the second stretch of back-to-back division games. You start weeks 1 and 2, division. You also get it here in weeks 6 and 7. The Colts obviously adding Phillip Rivers. That's going to be an interesting one. Another game, nice at home once again, and you go on the road for those 2 in the division, and that's going to be critical. You're going to have 4 division games played in your first 7 weeks, and those ones count double. That's what they always say. So those are some big games there, both on the road here in the second quarter, and then you finish up at home against the Raiders, which are always, when Gruden comes to town, that's going to be an interesting one, and also a big one, I'm sure, for Carl Joseph.
Yeah, absolutely. So then the bye week, and then we get into the third quarter here, and this is where you see some teams we have seen. Houston Texans in recent years. You're going to get that Eagles game in there. Carson Wentz, AB Howie Roseman, of course, learned at the foot of him the last couple of years in Philly, so that'll be an interesting one. And then Jacksonville, a team that seems like we kind of know what they're doing big picture-wise, but you get Jacksonville in Florida, and then you close with Tennessee, one of the more improved teams from a year ago.
Absolutely. Look, this third quarter, nothing in our division. It's 3 games with the AFC South and 1, of course, with the Philadelphia Eagles. You love having that home coming right out of that bye week against Deshaun Watson, and then following up, as you mentioned, with Wentz. And then you go on the road again. The Jags, we're not sure what they're trying to do this season, but you know that's always going to be a tough place to play. And then the Tennessee Titans, who were in the AFC Championship game a year ago. This is going to be an important quarter. It's not going to have divisional implications in the sense that you're not playing them, but this is a quarter where you're going to want to put a pretty good number on the board here and build some momentum into what is a very exciting, I think, final quarter.
Yeah, Z, I think actually this one contains, and as we get into the fourth quarter, the toughest back-to-backs when you think about going at Tennessee and then Baltimore at home. So as we get into this fourth quarter, then Baltimore at home, the 2 trips to New York to take the Giants and the Jets, and then closing with the Steelers, which what more can you say about that?
Yeah, you know, it's the first time you finished the season at home since 2015, and we certainly hope that is a memorable one with the Steelers. But to get Monday Night Football with the Ravens, then you go back-to-back in New York, the Jets and the Giants, and who knows where those teams will be at that time of the year. And then the Steelers to close it out. It's setting up for a dramatic December, and we need to do our part on the field, obviously, but the schedule makers have said, okay, you want drama, you want excitement, you have an opportunity to get it here in that final quarter. And speaking of excitement and drama, we've got our guy, Baker Mayfield, still to come here. This has been a lot of fun looking at this schedule, and now we want to hear from some of the principals. What do they think about what they've seen here with this schedule being released? So we are going to go ahead and we're going to bring up Baker Mayfield. That's coming up next here on the Browns Live Schedule Release Show presented by Progressive.
When I got to the Cleveland Browns, I felt I was the best receiver by far.
And I left my blocking and I cut up and somebody hit me that I never saw. And you could hear the crowd go, ooh. So I get up and the guy helps me up and he says, welcome to the NFL.
Just got my new jersey from the Browns.
Really good.
It's a lot simpler, a lot cleaner, but it's still like, oh.
Got the waves, got the homes. And it looks like we're going a little bit more traditional this year.
Homework.
Heck yeah.
Oh, I like the white one. Back to the good old days.
Welcome back. It's the Browns Live schedule release show presented by Progressive. And we just told you all the matchups that are coming out there. Now let's talk about the man who will be leading the Cleveland Browns into those games. We are very, very happy now to be joined by our head coach, Kevin Stefanski. Coach, great to see you. Thank you for being with us. And let's just get right into it. You got rookie minicamp coming tomorrow. You finally have an idea of the core of this football team. What has it been like for you since the draft, working with these guys, trying to get everybody up to speed?
Yeah, it's been great. We added some really fine football players and some fine young men with this draft class. And I can tell you, just with our coaches already spending some time with them, these guys are eager learners. They're ready to take everything we're willing to give them. And we're already testing them. And I can tell you, we have a smart group of guys so far. So like you said, we got rookie minicamp starting tomorrow, virtual rookie minicamp. So we'll go Friday, Saturday, Sunday with some meetings with the players. And that's what the structure is right now. And that's we're going to do everything we can to get these guys up to speed. So when they jump in the meetings with the veterans, they're ready to go.
Coach, one thing, I asked this question of AB because one thing that struck us immediately with this new regime is how much you guys prepare and then execute plans. We saw it in free agency. We saw it in the draft, execution of plans and so forth. But with the schedule, there is no preparing. You know who you're going to play, but you don't know where you're going to play them or in what part of the schedule. What's the excitement level for you when you finally got to look at it and say, okay, this is the task at hand?
Yeah, I mean, the schedule's it's fun for everybody. It's fun for us coaches, for the fans. Like you mentioned, we know who we were playing and where, just didn't know when. So as a coach, you kind of you take a peek at that thing. Immediately, your eyes go right to the first matchup of the year, as you always do. In week one, we get the division champs. We get the reigning MVP. So we'll be challenged right out of the gate. And I think that's the fun part of this business is the competitive nature of this league. So something that I know our players will look forward to. And then, from this chair, I always look at where's that bye week. So having that bye week right in the middle, I think breaks it up nicely. We play this game in quarters, and you can have 2 home games, 2 away games in each one of those quarters. So that's definitely where you look at on the horizon. But more than anything, as you guys know this, as coaches, we have blinders on. So once we get into that given week, all we can think about is that week. And for us, all we can really think about is that Ravens game opening up.
Coach, we've asked people to use the hashtag Browns Live so they can be a part of the show, get their questions to you, and we've got one. It comes from Mitch, and he says, what has been the biggest adjustment you've had to make doing this all from home, knowing especially, you just mentioned it, you start off with the Ravens week 1, week 2 Bengals, 2 divisional games right out of the gate, 4 of the first 7 in the division so that you're able to hit the ground running?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's something I think we're learning every day, honestly. We're pivoting in this off-season program. We started off doing the meetings one way. We kind of got some feedback that it worked better this way, so we pivoted and we went with that. So we're constantly trying to do this thing to the best of our ability. And would we love to be in person and be on the grass? We would, but that's not the nature of what we're doing right now. So whatever the rules are, let's make sure that we do the best job within the rules. So we get 2 hours with the players in our program right now, classroom-wise. So we've tried to do some unique things. I could tell you our coaches are doing an outstanding job and using video and using certain apps that can test these guys. So we're trying to be as creative as we can because we want to, like you just mentioned, we want to hit the ground running. So when training camp starts up, this is a nice part for us where we can teach these systems to our players and then get together and really take off.
Coach, what type of response are you getting from the guys on this? You guys very prepared and obviously quick to adapt, but this is new for them as well. What type of response are you getting from your guys?
Yeah, it's been very positive. I think the guys, they're pretty bored, if you can imagine. So they're looking forward to these meetings that we have with them. And I think there's just certain aspects of how we're doing this that I think they really like. I mean, just simply being on a Zoom call and talking to your teammates and having everybody on one page, I think is really cool. Doing some of the testing things that we're doing, making it competitive for the guys. A lot of tape, a big thing for us as an offense and a defense is having a really vast library of tape. So our offensive guys, for instance, can watch tape from the Vikings. They can watch tape from the Cincinnati Bengals, Packers, stuff that we've cut up. We have stuff cut up from the Vikings back in 2009. I got stuff from Koob when he was down in Houston. So we want a really big library of plays because I think so many of our players learn from film. And that's our job to put a bunch of film in front of them and see what they can learn from it.
Well, I can tell you this from doing the Browns working from home series with a lot of your players, Coach, they are diving into that film. They have a voracious appetite for it, which we all think is a good thing because they want to be ready to go as soon as they get a chance to get here. We have another question from one of our fans using the hashtag Browns Live. Again, that's the hashtag if you want to be a part of it, from Cleveland Pride 140. And this one will tie into one of the games in the preseason as you take on the organization you've spent your entire NFL career with, the Vikings. But he asks, what are some of the things that you learned from Coach Zimmer in your time there with the Minnesota Vikings? And I'll throw this little extra piece in there. I know it's only a preseason game, but that one might be a little extra for you, right?
Yeah, we're going to play the starters the whole game, try and win that one. Okay. I'll tell you, Coach Zim, I had a terrific relationship with him. He let me grow as a coach. He's a no-nonsense dude. I mean, that guy is all about ball. He's the premier defensive mind in the game. I think his teams, his players play for him, and because he's fair with them. He's not necessarily, lovey-dovey. That's not Coach Zim, but he's real. He's the same guy every day. And you saw those players every day come out to practice, go to those games, and they were so into it. We're always totally prepared, but I respect a lot of things about Coach Zim, but just his authenticity and how he led.
And by the way, he also had a pretty nice draft cabin or lodge. I don't know exactly what I would call it, but it looked like a pretty good place that Coach Zim was operating.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been to the Zimmer Ridge Ranch. It is even better than advertised.
Beautiful.
And it's got a name. That's the Zimmer Ridge Ranch. You can't get any better than that. Coach, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks,
We're going to be
Coach.
talking with your quarterback, Baker Mayfield, coming up next. But thanks so much for the time and excited for you to get into this rookie minicamp tomorrow.
All right, guys. Take care.
All
Thanks.
right. You got it. That's
Coach.
our head coach, Kevin Stefanski. Coming up next, it is your quarterback, Baker Mayfield, on the Browns Live Schedule Release Show presented by Progressive.
Jedrick, what's up, man? We spent a lot of time with Jedrick at the Combine. He really passed those tests in flying colors.
You can tell this guy loves what he's doing on the offensive line. He loves kicking ass.
It was something that I appreciate, I'm so happy that the Browns called me.
C-Ray.
I'm on the beach, man. I'm working.
I see the background. The Browns showed that they wanted me the most, and I'm glad to be, part of the great franchise.
Browns fans, single game tickets will go on sale tonight. Don't miss your chance to see the Browns play at First Energy Stadium this year. 2020 Browns single game ticket inventory is limited and will be distributed on a first come, first served basis. So don't miss out. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/tickets to place your orders.
Okay, role play. Jamie Mauer's the customer.
Excuse me, would you be interested in bundling your home and auto with Progressive?
No,
Well, you could save money.
I'm independently wealthy.
You can get round-the-clock protection.
I have a bodyguard.
Okay, this is totally unrealistic.
Well, you weren't really selling
I
it.
didn't buy it at
How
all.
much was the playoffs at?
Yeah, it was really bad.
Okay, I can do better. Hey, my name is Jamie, and I'm here to say...
Jamie, don't do that.
Nope.
Are you on me? Are you on me?
All right, we are back on the Browns live schedule release show. Nathan Zegura alongside Bo Bishop. And folks, the main event is on its way. That's right, quarterback Baker Mayfield will be here momentarily. But we've told you all night, it's about you guys. The hashtag Browns Live. That's how you've been getting your questions in. But there's also an opportunity to do something pretty good, isn't there, Bo?
Pretty good, in fact, my friend. You want a chance to win a Browns VIP game experience, including 2 game tickets, field passes, running out of that Progressive Tunnel, and autographed Baker Mayfield jersey. All you have to do, head to clevelandbrowns.com/VIP to register. And get this, if you share on social media, you will get a second entry. And with that, we are joined by our guy, Baker Mayfield, going to join us here on the program here. There's 6. It's been too long, man. It's good to see your face.
Oh, I'm out on a dock. Good to see you guys. Just chilling on the lake.
That's beautiful, man. Hey, Bake, how's this been for you, man? These are extraordinary times we're in, and Nathan and I humbled, obviously, from what we're seeing on the front lines, and there's the mix of that. How's it been for you?
No, it's been very interesting to see everything and how everybody's handled it, the differences and areas of, I'm down here in Texas, so we just started opening some things up, but it's been an interesting thing to see everybody coming together. Obviously not for a great reason, but coming together and showing support for each other. I think it's brought a lot of people together, families included. I'm sure at this point now families might want them to get out of their houses now, but it's been good for us. Got a lot of work done. I think, when it comes to the Cleveland Browns, these meetings that we've had so far have been very productive. I think it's been efficient so far.
Baker, you're coming in here to your 3rd year, new head coach, new offensive system. What are your impressions so far of Kevin Stefanski and this offense that many people say is tailor-made for you, suits you very, very well?
Every interaction I've had with Kevin has been great. He is who he is, and he's climbed the ladder very quickly because he's very well respected and he's an extremely sharp guy. He knows what he's doing. He knows the exact approach that he wants to, attack with, and he just does that. He gets people to buy into that and believe that, and that's what we're doing with our staff right now. And so I'm trying to get to know some of these other guys as we go along, and Kevin's done a really great job alongside with Andrew of putting this staff together, and so it's been great so far.
Bake, what's happened here this offseason from Jack and Hoop to Jedrick in the draft, the amount of weapons and the protection, it's AB's done a heck of a job from our vantage point. As this stuff was rolling in, take us through what it was like for you in free agency, and you see those signings that were happening. Yeah, we're going AB. Yeah.
AB.
Okay. There's one AB in the AFC North. All right. No, it's been very exciting for me. Just all the moves they're making. The guys they're bringing in, obviously talented guys, but mentality-wise and with the mindset that they have, I think we're putting the right pieces together. And so I could say all that, but that's why we're trying to take advantage of this time right now. Talking to these guys as much as I can, get to know them, because right now would be the first stages of getting everything out of the way, laying that foundation that we can. But we're doing the best we can. But when they bring guys in like that, it's extremely easy. And so kudos to them.
All right, we've been telling our fans they can interact with us using the hashtag Browns Live. We got a question from Scott Dudas, and he said, now that you have a few weeks with these new uniforms, which are your favorite of the new threads?
Ooh. I like the white ones. I really do. I think it makes the stripes pop. I'm gonna have to say the white ones.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. We liked them. We like the return to that look, and the white is pretty clean. Certainly, they're all certainly pretty clean. As you got to look at this schedule, Bake, and you were seeing, we knew who we were going to play, but in terms of when we play, who we play, it starts right out of the gates to be able. It's going to be a Heisman reunion. You got you and Lamar in the opener, and you and Joe Burrow in the home opener.
Yeah, obviously, extremely important first two games, and playing that first game against Baltimore. It's going to be, a matchup that we're looking forward to. And then it's a quick turnaround there with that Thursday night game. And so we know that's going to be a different team in Cincinnati than it was last year. That's for sure. So very important for us to start fast. That's why, we're hitting it hard right now.
Anything else jump out to you on this schedule as you looked at it? The bye week falls right in the middle for you guys there. Week 8, you have in December, Baltimore, Monday Night Football, the Steelers at the end.
Yeah.
Anything else really jump out to you on this one?
The back-to-back games in MetLife. And then I think the Dallas game for me is going to be a good homecoming back to the great state of Texas. But it's interesting. Hopefully college football starts the same time as they normally would, because that would be the OU Texas game. So there would be a lot of Oklahoma fans and Cleveland Brown fans in that stadium.
That's Red River weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that was on purpose.
Well, it's an OU reunion too with CD, and Jerry loves his Oklahoma Sooners as well. So there's a lot of Boomer Sooner in that stadium.
Exactly. It'll be a fun one.
Baker, we got another fan question for you here, and really it's about just how has this quarantine period impacted you and your ability to prepare, but also just if there's anything you want to say to the frontline workers and everybody, all the heroes that are out there every day in our communities and in the community you're in now as well.
Yeah, no, I would just say thank you to everyone that has been in the hospitals that took the just the first wave of it, and then from there it extends on. Thank you to everybody that's, helped in the grocery stores to help supply food, deliver food. I think everybody right now that has kids are probably going to be more thankful for teachers after all this is done with all the homeschooling going on. So there's a lot of things after this and during all this that we can be thankful for, but especially to the people that are helping out to make life somewhat normal during these trying times. And it's been interesting for me, but it's been a lot of back to the basics, but that's good. That's good for me to, have to get back to the foundation of basic workouts, and then just these Zoom meetings, of handling it one day at a time. You can't do too much. You can only, attack the task at hand. And that's just what everybody's having to do during this pandemic, is one day at a time. And you don't look up till it's done.
Vic, how excited are you to get back here and get to work on this season?
I'm really excited. It's kind of driving me crazy that we're not even able to get there and all be together. But it's for the better of everyone, for their health and safety. But yeah, we'll be really ready to get back to work. I know everybody else is. That's just the mentality of the guys so far. You can tell.
We are very excited for the season. We've got the schedule, and Baker, help you and your family stay safe during these times, and looking forward to getting you back here in Cleveland, getting this group together and putting together the start of what could be a very special 2020 season.
Thanks, guys. Same to y'all.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you to all of you who have been with us here tonight on the Browns Live Schedule Release Show presented by Progressive. We got to thank our great list of guests. It started with General Manager Andrew Berry. Grant Delpit was with us. The Miz was with us, as well as our head coach, Kevin Stefanski, and of course, Baker Mayfield, our quarterback. If you want to continue your draft schedule coverage, all you have to do is head on over to NFL Network for 3 hours of the Schedule Release Super Show. That starts at 8 o'clock. I want to thank each and every one of you. A heartfelt thanks to all of you on the front lines and our partners, again, who have helped to make our community a better place during these trying times. For the great Big B, Bo Bishop. I am Nathan Zegura. I want to also acknowledge our producers, Drew Davidson and Paul Taylor as well. And we want to thank you again for being with us here. It has been our pleasure to bring you the Browns Live schedule release show presented by Progressive. Good night, everybody.
Good night.